Hello, Islander fans. Wow, it seems like forever since the Isles have played a game. Welcome to Canadian Islander Fan Reaction. My name's Terry, and I got to remember how I did this. I've almost forgot how everything goes. But yeah, it's great to finally have some Islander hockey back. I was just glued to the TV yesterday watching all 5 games. I've just been jonesing for hockey, and with the World Juniors getting canceled and that was a bit of a bummer. So it's great to have some Islander hockey back, and it's good to have most of our team back. Hopefully, we can get into a bit of a groove here and get going. So anyway, the Islanders are playing the Buffalo Sabres tonight, and it is a big game for the Owls. As every game for the rest of the year will be a big game. But if you're going to look at the season, you really have to zero in on uh, small goals, tiny goals, so that the task doesn't look so daunting. First and foremost is to work our way back to 500. So shouldn't even really be looking up the standings, but if you were to look up the standings, the team to be looking at right now, I kind of thought it might have been New Jersey, but then I thought, no, you know what? Let's be realistic here. Unless we go on some miracle run, we are fighting for the wild card spot, and we may at the very end not even be fighting for the wild card spot. We may have dug such a hole, but to get going, what we have to do is take these small things to look at. In reality, the next team ahead of us is Buffalo. So this is a big game for us. Buffalo is currently 31 points, and we are or not 31 points. What's Buffalo here? Let me see. Just put on my glasses here. Yeah, Buffalo's at 25 points, and we're at 22. So we're only 3 points behind Buffalo right now. And obviously, with the regulation win tonight, we can close that gap to 1 point with 5 games in hand. So a big game for us tonight. So let's focus in on Buffalo. Let's focus in on trying to get back to 500, which we are now 4 below. So we've been as low as 5 below twice this season. It's time to start moving up. So looking forward to a good game tonight. Buffalo's obviously playing a lot better. And I've wanted Tage Thompson for a couple of years now. I was hoping he'd get to the Islanders, but this guy's really blooming into one hell of a hockey player. He's kind of the guy to have your eye on tonight. Tage and Alex Tuck has returned, so Buffalo's looking better. You can see the rebuild starting to work. So we can't take this game for granted. It's probably going to be a sloppy game. Buffalo might be a little crisper. They've already played a game, but no excuses. This is the time for no excuses. We're going to 2022, and that'll be our motto for the season for 2022. No excuses. So that's what we're going to do. Anyway, I'm super excited to watch some Islander hockey tonight. This should be awesome, and hopefully we get a big W. All right, let's go Islanders. See you in between the first and second. After one period of play, the Buffalo Sabres and New York Islanders are all tied up at 1 apiece. Pretty fast-paced first period. I thought it was overall pretty good. Some of the games I saw yesterday were pretty sloppy, and this one wasn't too bad. One thing of note that I did notice, though, was and it was our last game where a bunch of people were just falling over, and we thought maybe it was from the concert that they had in that. I'm not sure what happened in UBS last night, but I saw 3 Buffalo defenders just fall down out of the blue, just barely moving, and they were going down like crazy. I can't help but think that something's a little bit wrong with the ice right now, or I know it's going to be an experiment till they get it all right and everything. But yeah, the ice seems to be a bit of a concern lately. So that can really give up some big breaks if a defenseman just falls down for no reason, that's for sure. But anyway, overall, I thought it was a pretty good period by the Islanders. Disappointing to give up a late goal for sure. But geez, I thought Matt Barzal, to me, he looked like a caged tiger who's just let out, and man, you could tell this kid was itching to play some hockey. It's been a while for Matt, so Yeah, he looked fantastic out there. Really no rust. If anything, I noticed with it it seemed the bigger the player, the more the rust that I it was kind of what I was seeing out there. And I thought Ross Johnson started real slow, and then all of a sudden he by about halfway through the period, he got chugging along, and things started working for Ross pretty good. I was a little worried about Chera because he was playing really good hockey before the break. And unfortunately, as you get older, you lose it quicker. If you know, when you're older, you have to keep playing constantly, or else you have to get it all back again. And I'm a little concerned about it, but overall, he had a good period. So not too worried about that. Thought Varley was okay. He was fairly solid. Nothing much he could do on the goal that was scored against him on the power play. Uh, Once again, I thought Dodson looking great as the Islanders score. Matt Barzell from Josh Bailey and Dobson. All three guys made a great play on this goal. I was so impressed how Dobson, the second he got that puck, he shot out like a cannon and took up off the ice, and then he passes over to Bailey, and then he just goes shooting straight towards the net. We have needed our defenseman to be like this for so long, and Noah's just seemed as he's going to be that guy. He's doing it, and he was a big reason the goal was scored. It was a really nice pass by Bailey to see Barzell coming up, but all that room was created by Dobson by going straight to the net. He brought two guys right out of the slot there. Barzy was all alone. Beautiful shot in the net. So Barzy didn't look like he lost beat. Overall, like I said, I thought we looked pretty good. Would have been nice to be up 1-0. That was a penalty, though. Matt, you did trip the guy. I know he was complaining about it, but and yeah, if anybody's going to score against us, why not Okie? I can live with that. It's not like I'm being haunted by him, because what was that, his third goal against us in 17 games? So if we're tied, I can live with that. If that's the only goal for Buffalo for the rest of the game, then I can live with that. So yeah, so I thought we looked really good. I think the one thing to watch out for here is later in the game to see if we tire. It's been a while for us, and some of the guys coming back have been away even longer than just that 10-day break. So I'm not too concerned about the second period. I'm more concerned about the third period. But overall, I think we look really good out there, and it's a big game. We need to win this game. So let's go Islanders. Let's take it to them in the second period. Woo, woo. All right. New York Islanders are leading the Buffalo Sabres 3-1 after two periods of play. I haven't gotten to say that very much this year. It's kind of fun to say it. And the Islanders lead 3-1. Yeah, that was a fun period to watch. I sure enjoyed that period. It's been a while since I had that much fun watching the period. And once again, the Islanders looking really, really good in the second period. It almost seems like these guys are just so pumped and hoping to get into some kind of rhythm here that they can play and get some games in, and just put their heads down and go for it. Like I said at the start of this game, this is a big game. I mean, we got to catch Buffalo, because if we're going to get a wild card spot, can't have Buffalo ahead of us. So we're behind them. So we need to get ahead of them. And we need a big third period here. I remember when we were winning early in the season, there was a game I said, this is not the game to go into the Islander shutdown for the third period. This is a game where you need to win 5-1, not shut it down and hold on to win 3-2. We got to get our boys believing in each other. And really, this is the first time I can really remember all season where I've pretty much seen all four lines clicking tonight. And yeah, so don't hold them back, Barry. Let them go. Let them go. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense. So just let them go. And Holy smokes. Let's talk about the goal admitted 2-1. Holy cow. For people who weren't sure whether we should be patient much longer with Kiefer Bellows, boy, I'll tell you, if he didn't show you, he's worth he's going to be worth the wait. The kid's got some serious talent, and even before he scored his goal, I uh, I was loving his game. He was all over the place. He was shooting. Yeah, he was doing it all, and on the power play, he was shooting on the power play. I think I talked about him when I was talking about with Wallstrom, saying that Bellows once upon a time was in that slot that Wallstrom was in, and I tell you, we didn't miss a beat by having Kiefer out there instead of Wally. They both had that talent to do that, but oh my gosh. Let's go back to the start of the goal, though, for Bellows. It was so funny that young kid, I can't remember who it was, he was coming down on Andy Green, and he does the fancy behind the back through the legs. And he just totally did not bite, and as the puck's coming from behind in his legs back to his stick, and he just sits there and goes swat with the puck. It was so funny. I actually laughed out loud when I saw it, and my laughter quickly turned into, oh my god, oh my god, what a move by Bellows, and the way he carried that puck, and then that little just juke move at the end before shooting it and going back against the grain, and that, man, that is yeah, it's almost like we've had such bad luck with a lot of prospects in that, but it's almost like we got a whole crop right now, all all starting to all starting to gel at once. And it's like Dobson is just coming into his own right now. Wally's really arrived too. And if we ever get into a normal schedule here with Wally playing a lot and on the first line, uh, so we got Wally arriving, we got Dobson arriving, we got Bellows arriving, and boy, isn't it nice to have Michael Del Cole to call up. You know, you don't get much more solid than Del Cole, as to have him coming up from the AHL instead of being on the roster is awesome for this franchise. Uh, we we're starting to show some of our depth now with these prospects, and who knows, man, maybe this COVID thing, if we end up making some big run and making playoffs, this could turn out to be a huge blessing for us, these young kids getting all their time in, and just really starting to blossom. So we got some prospects on the way, and it's nice to see, because it's been a long time since we've had a whole bunch of people come up and just boom all at once. So yeah, Barzy looking great out there again, and Anders having a beauty game. And like I said, with Kiefer on the in the ollie spot, I mean, he was just wailing away, shooting away, but he made some passes back to the defenseman when it wasn't right, and he took advantage of the right spots, and everybody's shooting. And I'm just so not used to that. So beautiful power play goal by Anders Lee. Great Anders Lee effort in front of the net, like you expect out of Anders Lee. So and of course Bellows getting the shot off, and Barzell with a sweet little pass. Yeah, and how about Dobson? Like that whole period, like just jumping into the play like crazy. It's yeah, it was a good period, and it's a nice way to feel good coming off this 10-day break, and we just got to bring this home and win this game, and onward and upward. Win this game. We're 1 point behind Buffalo, 5 games in hand. So yep, onward and upward. Hopefully, really excited at the end of this game. So we'll see you after the end of the game. Take it easy. The New York Islanders beat the Buffalo Sabres 4-1. What a great way to come off this Christmas break, this overextended Christmas break. It's nice to have good feelings going on. We were actually playing pretty good before we went into this latest 10 game break, and it's nice to come out the other side with a victory. So, and let's be honest about it. It was a big win tonight. Like, I'll say that every time we win a game this year, but still it's a big win because we are now a point behind Buffalo and 5 games in hand. So talked earlier about when we started the podcast here that the Islanders just got to narrow in on small goals, and they've got one right in front of them now that they can leapfrog if they start playing some good hockey here, and then you'll set sights on the next person. And the other goal, probably the more important goal than focusing on Buffalo, is getting to 500. And we're now 3 games below 500. It took us 2 cracks to get back to 3 games under 500. The first time we fell back to 5 games under 100 or 500. So it was good to get that done. Hopefully we can win another one and get close to that 500 mark. And then once we hit that 500 mark, we'll start setting some real goals. But really good effort tonight by the Islanders that came out of the COVID break. Fantastic. I really think if the Islanders were a car tonight, they have a 4-cylinder engine and all cylinders were firing tonight. So it was really nice to see a full team effort going on out there. And man, oh man, Noah Dobson just coming into his own, scoring his 4th goal of the year there. What a great shot. And another nice drop pass by Bailey. And of course, earlier from Barzell, giving Barzell a 3-point night. So Matt just came into this game like he was shot out of a cannon. It was just, it was a joy to watch him tonight. I think Butch thought it was his best game as a professional. He may not be wrong. Yeah, he did. He looked that good out there tonight. He looked like the guy that I thought he would become. And yeah, really good. But it's Buffalo, but it's hard to temper your excitement when you haven't won a whole lot this year. And so when things do start going your way and you start scoring some goals, you start feeling good about yourself. And so maybe I'm overacting a little bit, but that's okay. I'm going to overact anyway because it's fun to win, and we won tonight. And we looked great doing it. I thought everybody looked great during the game. I know Barry's going to be extremely happy with this game for sure. I probably going to be a really boring recap on the players tonight because I don't have a lot of bad things to say about anybody on the ice. So yeah, well, let's get into it. Let's do it. Austin Czarnik, this kid is turning out to be a fantastic call up for us. He's got great speed, and he looked really good out there tonight, just like he did the last time we called him up. And boy, it's certainly nice to know we got a Austin Czarnik down in the AHL to be able to come up and fill in the way he does. Yeah, extremely pleased with Czarnik's game once again. Uh, Zach Parise, I didn't really think Zach was as noticeable as he normally is. Now, let's be honest here. In reality, Zach was probably more on the 4th line tonight. So the 4th line, our identity line, was probably our 3rd line tonight, I would think, with what we had going on there. But he's just usually more noticeable. Don't get me wrong, he still made a lot of good defensive plays and things like that, but he just seemed more noticeable. But he also had some scoring opportunities tonight too, and set up some good scoring opportunities as well. So it's still a good game for him, just not as noticeable as I'm normally getting used to seeing Parise. So pretty good game for Zach. In my opinion, tonight, this was Josh Bailey's best game of the entire season. So I got nothing bad to say about him in this one. He had one pretty bad giveaway, but besides that, overall, it was the other things he was doing tonight. So when Bailey was playing, like he was tonight, then Barzell and Lee could flourish. And in the long run, Bailey ends up getting two assists out of the deal because, and they were both nice passes. They weren't cheapies and primary assists. So, yeah, good game by Josh Bailey tonight. That's nice to not have to say the same things over and over again. But one thing I've learned with Josh, I don't keep my hopes up for very long. So, it'd be nice, but yeah, don't do that. Don't torment yourself like that. Just don't. Matt Barzell, I don't know what I can say about his game tonight other than wow, he really stood out in this game. Oh, he was dominant out there tonight, and it was nice to see. This is the kind of player that I thought he could be, and you know what? This is him playing within Barry's structure and pulling off a 3-point night. So it can be done for sure. But Matt also needs the line mates firing on all cylinders too. I mean, you can't make beautiful passes into a black hole, you know what I mean, over and over and over and get no results and not get you down as a player. So it was really nice to see. And Matt was on quite a run before he went on COVID. He was on a point. He was scoring a lot of points at the end there. I especially know because I got him on my fantasy team, and all of a sudden he's just I every game now it's a point, 2 points, and now tonight like 3 points. So fantastic game by Bars tonight. He really dominated out there, and he just looked fantastic out there. He really did. Cal Clutterbuck. And you know what? I think I'm just going to take Clutterbuck, Cizikas, and Martin and put them into one because they play as one. At least tonight they played as one, and they played like the identity line now. I've been on pain meds for my shoulders for almost 9 years now. Maybe Butch isn't as used to being on pain meds for his shoulders as I am, but I don't know what he was talking about when he said I that the identity line didn't have the jump tonight that he's used to seeing, because I saw a completely different thing than Butch saw. I'll tell you that for sure. Like you know what, Butch, in my opinion, you couldn't be more wrong. I thought that was one of the identities line's best games of the year, and they they were awesome. They all three of them, they played great, and probably a bigger jump up for Matt Martin than Casey and Clutter, because Casey and Clutter were already playing fairly good, but huge jump for Matt tonight to catch up to Cal and Zeker. So yeah, I thought the identity line was fantastic, and they had scoring opportunities too. So like I said, all four lines were firing tonight on four cylinders. We were flying. All right. And then, wow, go to Kiefer Bellows. Holy smokes. He brought me out of my seat on his goal tonight. I'll just put it to you that way. And I don't often get brought out of my seat, but when I saw that, it was like, yes, I knew you had it. I knew you had it. I knew you had it. That was beautiful goal. That was really sweet. And then to follow it up with just, shooting rockets from the point and getting an assist on the power play shortly after. It's a great game for Kiefer. It shows a lot of promise tonight, a lot of promise for us. Yeah, keep up the good work, Kiefer. You're looking great, man. And it's his effort. He's out there pushing 100% for his entire shift. Like you can see him. He's giving it everything he's got. He's chasing guys down. He's forechecking. He's back checking. He's hitting people, and it was quite impressive to watch. Kudos to Keith on a fantastic game. Anders doing his thing tonight. I thought he was a little rusty in the first period. I mentioned that I thought I noticed the bigger guys seemed to be a little more rustier than the other guys, but once the old locomotive got going, Anders had himself a nice typical Anders Lee game. He was big on the Dobson goal, being in front there. He scored a goal. Yeah, he had an excellent game. That our first line actually looked like our first line tonight. They looked like they were the guys, and they were. And it was nice to see. It was a really nice change, and yeah, it was sweet. And loved Anders' game tonight. So well done, boys. How about DC? Michael Dal Cole. He got 2 shots off tonight, and both were good scoring opportunities. And Michael Dal Cole, sometimes it would take him 8-9 games to get 2 shots on net. But wow, what a thing of beauty to be able to have a guy of DC's caliber who's fully trained in our system. And this guy has never bitched, whined, or anything ever about the process he's went through. Now, granted, he really, I guess it's not his own fault. I mean, you're only as good as you are, but he hasn't produced. So rightfully so, I guess Islander fans could be disappointed in him, but he's always given the Islanders the effort, and he never bitched about not getting a fair chance. Like other guys would say, why didn't I get power play time? I was like a 5th overall draft pick and stuff like that. So he's been a good soldier, and he played a really good game out there tonight. You could just see, oh yeah, I know this system. I know how to play this. And he did everything Barry was looking for. And Ross Johnson, I thought, had a really good game tonight too, as well. I kind of saw him the same as Anders Lee there. Kind of the 2 big locomotives needed a little bit of period to get going, but once they got steam rolling, then they started to move a little bit. And yeah, I was really pleased with Ross's game. And of course, he played policeman out there again tonight without even having to do anything. It's kind of like back in the old days, there was a show called Happy Days where a guy named Fonzie, he never fought because he had a reputation and nobody wanted to fight him. And if Ross can do policing like that, that works just as effective as pounding the guy's brains into the ice. So good job by Ross out there. Always a team player. Pager had he was good tonight. He had spurts. He was really good in the face-off circle, and he seemed to come out in spurts tonight, and he would be noticeable. But and then when you weren't noticing him, he was kind of in the right defensive spot and everything. So it wasn't a overly spectacular game from for Pagers. His standards, but still a good game by Pager no matter what. So we know what kind of player Pager is. He's not going to score every game and things like that, but like I said, the face-off dot, he owned it tonight, and wasn't doing anything wrong out there, and there wasn't any Islander players not looking that good out there. So pretty pleased with that. All right, so let's go to the defense now, and Robin Salo. I think Robin had a good game, good defensively, and got some shots off, and overall. But I just still have this feeling that Robin's holding back just a little bit. I really think he seems to me to be out there trying not to make mistakes. And I know I can tell there's so much more to this guy, and he reminds me of Dobson when Dobson first got here. And now look at Dobson tonight. Well, I'll get to Dobson in a second, but you know what I mean, right? So all of a sudden, I really think once he lets go, we're gonna see a really, really good defenseman. And even though he's holding back a bit, he played well defensively tonight, good on the breakouts. So no complaints from him, but I just can't wait for him to get a little more comfortable being a New York Islander and start to make things happen. So that will lead me right into Dobson then, because wow, I don't know if I've seen such a major jump ever in a player where it was just like a light switch went on. with Dobby, and it seemed like he went from about going 30 miles an hour to 100 all of a sudden in one off season, just like that. This guy, it's hard to even recognize him. He looks that freaking good out there, and the jumping into the play and going like a beeline to the net is causing more and more chances for us. We got a goal off it tonight. We almost scored another goal with him doing it. He almost deflected it in by going up there. And it is really nice to see his game developing. He's been outstanding. It's like a new person. It's like a boy turned into a man who just all of a sudden believes in himself. And this is what I'm talking about with Robin. Like Dobson last year wouldn't have done this. He wouldn't have drove to the net like he's driving to the net tonight. He's not even hesitating. When he's seeing an opportunity, he's pouncing on it. Like he's looking for it, and his eyes like light up, and he just starts skating really fast and takes the puck and goes, and then just poof, makes something happen. And you have to be super impressed with Dobson's game right now, and it's going to get better. And that for the opponents is going to be scary. So fantastic game by Noah again tonight, scoring a goal as well. Adam Pelech. Adam Pelech. I know I always say the same thing every time about Adam Pelech, but what can you do? It's like I just chuckle out there. I'm watching the Islanders get hemmed in, and the puck never comes to Pelech. And the second it gets into Pelech's area, it's over. That's the pressure from the other team is over because Adam just stops it right in its tracks. And he is just such an amazing defensive defenseman. It is such a pleasure to watch that guy. And I love watching him jump up into the play too, because I know he's got the offensive flair there. It's there, and we're going to see it a lot more in the future. I really have a feeling. I love the way the Isles defense is jumping into the play and shooting, where our defense is shooting this year. But that's also because of a lot of different personnel, like Big Z. He shoots whenever he can. Robin Salo loves to shoot. Aho loves to shoot. And so, it was almost like Dobson saw this, and now he loves to shoot. Now he loves to take off and get into the middle of the play, and it's contagious. That's what happens in hockey. That's when you talk about momentum shifts, and that scoring can become contagious to an entire team. Yeah, the whole team just feels it, and it's a crazy thing, and it's hard to explain, but it has that contagious kind of feeling. And once one person does it and then you score a goal, and oh man, brings back some good memories. Andy Green, fantastic game, always solid. Like I said, I literally laughed out loud when when that kid tried to do that move on him, and he literally did not budge, and then just whack. Away goes the puck, and there goes Bellows off for a goal. Yeah, Andy, he's so solid. We just don't ever really have to worry about Andy Green on the ice defensively. Is amazing for a little guy how well he plays that position. Scotty Mayfield was trying to throw a lot of bombs tonight from the point. He was shooting every chance he got, and like I said, it's contagious. Scotty sees Noah doing it now. Well, I'm going to do it now too, and everybody's doing it, and it's so much more fun to watch. We're getting so many more chances and opportunities that we never got before because we just weren't shooting the puck. So yeah, good game by Scotty tonight. And I said earlier in the pregame that I was a little bit worried maybe with Zdeno being out. The older you are, those kind of breaks can hurt the older guys a little more than it does the younger guys with the rust. But no, Zdeno was great. Had another really good game, and was getting off some good shots there. I thought he had a goal there tonight. It was close. Subban just got it at the end. One guy that I haven't talked about at all through this whole podcast is Semyon Varlamov, and he really had a really, really good game. I think Butch once again undersold Varley's contributions to the victory tonight. Varley made a lot of tough saves look easy tonight. He Granted, it wasn't like he was bombarded or anything with opportunity after opportunity, but like every 2 or 4 or 5 minutes or so, there was one solid scoring opportunity for the Sabres, and Varley was there. And like I said, in a lot of them, you didn't even think it was really that great of a save because he made it look so easy. But they were nice saves. Varley had a great game tonight, completely solid for us. We get both Varley and Ilya rolling together. We're back in business. I'm not gonna jump up and down. I'm taking the old Barry mantra: don't get too high, don't get too low. So that's what I'm doing. I'm staying even keel here, so I'm not going to get too excited. We just beat Buffalo Sabres, who are playing their second game of in 2 nights. So, but it's nice to win, isn't it? Nice to win. Yeah, I tell you, it sure is. Anyway, I just saw a fantastic victory by the Islanders tonight. Goals from Barzell, Bellows, Lee, and Dobson. And I did say when Oki scored tonight, I said, if it was the only goal that scored tonight, I can definitely live with that. And good for you, Oki. You're one of those guys, not like a Tavares returning and scoring against us, where I just grind my teeth. For Oki, I still give it a thumbs up. I still love you, Oki. I do. Great Islander. Love the guy. Love the guy. Anyway, that's all I have for you. It's probably a little longer than I should be tonight, but I guess I'm just a little bit excited. What can I say? So you guys all out there, you take her easy and peace out. Victory.